Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily Anime Reviews, the show where we talk about stuff seasonally and talk about episodes seasonally. I'm sorry if I'm a little scattered brain in this one. Usually I have a pretty good. Also, apologies if I seem a little lower. It is just late, and I am trying to catch up to as many work things as I can. But I'm sorry. I need to kind of process what I just watched. So if you couldn't tell, obviously by the thing that's on screen right now, we're talking about Shibou Yuugi. It's a new anime that is debuting in the season of winter 2026. And okay, listen, I'm a fan of death games. I'm kind of like I'm weird. I will say this. I'm a weird person. I like death games. I like dispenseful, kind of not like somewhat gory type of stuff. Like to give you kind of an idea, I have watched at least the majority of the Saw series, bar the like newest ones that have come out in like the last 5 years, like Spiral and Saw X, stuff like that. But I have watched like the original Saw 1 through 7 many of time, right? I have watched at least 3 of the Hostel movies. I think there's 5, but I've watched at least like 3 of the Hostel movies. The last one I remember watching is the one that came out in Europe, and I've also watched the entire trilogy of the Human Centipede. And yes, for those of you that don't know, there is a trilogy, and it's a fucked trilogy. It's really fucked. But I've also watched other death games. I was a fan of the Tomodachi game until it stopped being super great. There's like other death games I watch. Oh, Death Parade is like one of my favorite anime. It kind of sucks what happened to it being removed from platforms. But it's just to give you guys kind of like a basis of like where I am with everything. I love death games. I don't know why. There might be something wrong with me. I have no clue. But death games are always something that fascinated me. One, because I have a weird fascination with the things and objects and traps and tricks. I swear to God, I'm not psychopathic. I just find it interesting on the psychology of the people who put on it. Fucking sickos. Which is also funny to think about because I've been meaning to watch Squid Games. I haven't watched Squid Games, but we're not here to talk about that. I'm rambling on a lot, honestly. It's because the reason I am is because I just got through the first episode of Shibou Yuugi. Now, at the time of this recording, there's a second one, and usually, if you know my patterns from previous times, I've done these seasonal reviews. I usually do these where, like, if I'm missing like an episode or two, I will usually like record a video, but it'll be talking about episode 1 and 2 and 3 if I've missed them, just to keep on track with them. This is probably the first time I have ever had to do it this way, because holy fucking shit, this was a lot. This first episode was actually genuinely a lot, because when I like saw Shibou Yuugi and I saw like the trailers, I talked about it in like a main channel video. I like speculated on what it would like actually be. Like I didn't think like obviously I think the girl's name is Shibou Yuugi or Yugi, but Yugi was supposed to be is obviously the person that is like surrounding this person. Like is like the person that's centered around this anime, because the description says that she survived multiple of these death games. So I didn't know if her role was supposed to be like the person that's meant to sabotage people, or if she's just doing this for money, which we do find out her ultimate goal at the very end of episode 1. But I just kind of want to talk about how much of a banger and emotional kind of coaster ride this first episode was, because with like it still has like all the elements of like a proper death game, right? Where like you'll see people being selfish, or you'll see people being like emotional and reactive, and like maybe like in their last moments of death trying to survive, they'll either panic, or the real side of them, or like not the real side, but like their survival instincts would come out. There are people that feel guilt, there's people that feel other stuff. So there's that there. Yuki, if it wasn't for Yuki's involvement, this would probably just kind of feel like a somewhat above average death game show, right? Because when you look at it and you see how it's like built and everything, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. You're making it like somewhat interesting. You're doing this thing where like obviously like people are signing up for it voluntarily, which that's the thing that kind of threw me off, where there are people that other than Yugi who actually were going through the death games themselves. Like they're the ones they're like constantly going through it, which is it's just like a thing. Like there was one girl who did it 2 times. I think there was another girl that was like her 3rd or 4th. Someone who was their first time, but they knew what they were signing up for. And there was another girl who like she never signed up for it at all. But it was like, but she doesn't know why she was there. Which that is usually the type of person you like follow, right? You follow the person who doesn't know anything because the audience also doesn't know anything. Yuugi would probably be the one who would be the like more of the antagonist type. But Yuugi was kind of this harbinger of trying to get people out as best as she can, because for her, she's like, oh, well, I've played these death games, I know the trips, I know the tricks, I know all that, I know like every best way to survive, basically. And so her thing is, you know, she kind of basically lays all of her cards on the table. She's like, listen, I played this like 23 or 27 or 28 times. I think the only lie she told, and this is speculation because I don't fully remember, is that there was a counter, right? That showed that she played, that she told, I think she told she played it like 23 times or 24 times. But at the end, she says she's played 28 games. Now, there was like a counter where it said like 23, 20, like it was going up as the girls went up. I thought that was just like the hour and something was going to happen at the hour. And maybe I was completely right. But when they got to like the end, it only seemed like there was 2. But either way, like she laid out all her cards at the table and she was honest. She's like, no, you should be speculative of me. You should be wary of me because I could be lying to you. You don't know. Like obviously I know more than any of you do, so you never know what could happen. You never know what could this be, yada yada yada, like all this stuff, right? So it's one of those things where it's like she lays all the cards on the table and like, you know, spoilers for her head, but she was being honest. Like she does want to get she wants to get everybody towards the end. That is her ultimate goal. She wants to get everybody towards the end. But obviously with these games, you can't keep everybody. And we even see towards the end that there even are times where like, oh, there's actually nothing else I can do. I'm forced to keep everybody. Oh, there's something also I think that's really important that I think if anything, right? Like when it comes to viewers or anime, like big anime seasonal watchers like me, old anime fans, new anime fans, even not just like in anime, but like people who make this kind of content with the death games and the gore, and people who like to make gory stuff, you can make intense stuff without it having to be so gory. And Shibou Yuugi is the first one where I was actually kind of surprised to see that, right? Because obviously with these death games, sometimes things can get kind of gory, sometimes things can get like kind of odd. The only death game I can kind of say somewhat doesn't get gory to watch is like Death Parade, but Death Parade's point isn't it. The idea of it isn't for it to be gory. The idea of it is to be like more of just like a psychological look at people's like own aspects and how they operate versus in like in order to like operate in reality versus how they operate after life or when everything's on the table, which that's how most of these games are. But Death Parade puts it into a new spin, which is why I really love Death Parade. But I would say even like Death Parade has more blood than this, because again, sometimes all you need to do is just bring up something simple and it makes sense, right? And then Shibou Yuugi, like you see, like there's not much blood with the girls. There's not like there's nothing that's splattering all over the place. And there's a scene where like that should have technically happened because of like there's like a trap where they have to get out and there's like blades that are coming down and they don't get out in time, they're fucked. So the whole aspect behind it is all there is that there's like a preservation method or preservation treatment where all the girls are like stuffed with something. Like obviously they're still alive. I mean, like it doesn't really make sense, but it feels as if they're like taxidermied to a sense, because people are watching the game, but because they don't want to make it like too gory or too bloody. That's fine. I'm okay with stuff like that. And it's still intense because you get, oh my God, I think, I'm not gonna lie, this is a scene that almost made me like it made me it made me extremely emotional, because there was like the same trap where like everyone's separated and there's saws that are coming down, and there is, I don't remember fucking names except for the main character, but there's a blue-haired girl, there's a blonde-haired girl, and Yuugi, at least at the beginning, figures out that like, oh, the keys are all of us to like, get out, all that stuff. So initially what you would do, sorry, I'm trying to fucking remember. So like the whole point of the game is that like Yuugi has the key, she gets out of the cuffs. And what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to share the keys and everyone's supposed to get out in time. The problem is, obviously, there's blades above you. Everyone's separated, so they can't really see each other except for like what's kind of across from them. So the whole point is like, people like, if you're like calm and you're cool and you're like collected, obviously everybody should be able to get out. But the problem is everyone's like fighting and arguing and all that stuff. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, oh shit, like, it's not about like, it's simple. You should share the keys and everyone should get out. The problem is if you panic and everyone's fighting over the keys, you start losing time. And if you start losing time, not everyone can get out. So that's why you got to be swift about it. There should be like no hesitation. And they even bring up like, there's favoritism, where it's just like, oh yeah, all the girls are fighting for the keys, and like you give it. Which, to be fair, they just like, obviously hindsight's a fucking magical thing, but like if they just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pass it to the side, it's like, okay, I'm gonna pass it to the left, pass it to the left, because at least at that time, if you just go ahead and just pass it around, everyone should survive, right? Communicate, pass it to the left, because that's going to be the calmest way, because if you put it in the middle, people are going to fight. Pass it to the left if you can, then you pass it to the left, and then obviously the last two girls are like trying to fight for it. The blonde one's able to like reach, like one of the girls puts it and it's like too kind of far, but like the blonde girl's able to reach for it, and she like realizes that, and she's just like, I can't get out, I need to fucking leave, this fucking sucks. And at first I was a little wary given the fact of like, oh, like, you go and like, it's like, you see like the walls come up and like the blonde girl, she doesn't have like a hand. Well, one of the things you could have done, which I didn't even connect it until then, is that like, oh yeah, you're all locked in, you're trapped, like you got to put it in, yada, yada, yada. Yuugi at the beginning says, hey, if you pull up the lever, your hand's gonna get cut. Don't do that, because your hand's gonna get cut. Here's the thing though, you want those keys, don't you? You want them motherfucking keys. Then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna cut your hand off for them fucking keys. That's what the blonde one did. That's why she was able to reach in it, because she's like, oh yeah, Yuugi said if you pull up the lever, your hands get cut. Okay, pulls up the lever, hand gets cut. She's able to reach in for the keys, which, to be fair, if it's between, sacrificing your hand and getting your keys, I'm going to fucking give up some keys. But other than, like, that one aspect, because there's obviously going to be aspects where, again, the typical death game scenario or emotions are going to come up, right? There are people that's going to be like, oh, like the next game after that, where, like, a pink-haired girl's like, well, if she wants to die, we should just leave her there. Which also made me realize that, like, Yuugi is all about, she's at this point, she would seem like the very logical person of like, you're right, it doesn't make sense to lose a person. At the time, it doesn't make sense to lose a person, but also have like, the blonde girl was really light, so we would still have to lose some type of weight before we actually like got out of there. Versus like, oh yeah, if all of us just cut off one of our limbs or some of our limbs, they'd be fine. Which, to be fair, like I said, the preservation treatment allows them to do that, and they'll be fine. Which, in one hand, okay, this is gonna sound like the most fucked thing. I swear to God, it's gonna sound like the most fucked thing. But I need to find a way to say this where it doesn't sound psychotic. But like, at least from the death games I've seen, like in terms of like, putting people in traps, these seem like the nicer ones, because it's like, oh yeah, well, like, I don't want you to bleed out, obviously, it's a fucking game, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna like have your bodies like not bleed out, which is fair to one degree, but at the same time, what the fuck? Holy fucking shit. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's so fucked to think that, like, imagine, like, you feel your leg cut off, but, like, it's not bleeding, it's not that, it's, like, the psychological pain that would have to come from just that thought alone, only to get it reattached and maybe go through it again. Like, remember, Yuugi has been through this multiple times, so she knows about the preservation treatment, and she knows that if you cut off your limbs, you'll be fine. That means her limbs have been attached and reattached multiple times, which is beyond fucked. It's so beyond fucked to think about. Oh my god. For someone to go through it multiple times, let alone a few times, like, there's girls in there that were there 2 or 3 times. To go through it, like, 23 times is insane to me. But, like, again, I realized Yuugi was somebody who is definitely gonna think about the best outcome, but obviously, even she doesn't know when, like, the true problem, or like she doesn't even know what's truly ahead, because in like the elevator one, which is the one where, you know, the pink haired girl was like, oh, we should leave her behind, Yuugi actually breaks into into whatever place and tries to save Yuugi from actually, like, you know, offing herself. The thing is, that was probably the wrong play, because in the next game, or not the final trial, the door doesn't open. And they're like, oh, well, we can't even go back. And like, maybe there's like one more death game. It's like, no. If you look at it, technically, with the first trap, which was finding the keys, someone died. The second trap, somebody died. The third trap, nobody died. Everyone that went in there also got out of there. So theoretically, there should have at least been 3 people in each game that ended up perishing, which is not what happened. So they quickly realized, or at least Yuugi quickly realized, we do need to go ahead and off somebody else. So at the end of the day, they were gonna make each other fight regardless. Which also, can I just say, for a death game, that's so shitty. Like, not even shitty as in you're a bad person, but so shitty as in that's lazy. Oh, like, okay, like, this is gonna sound psychotic. That's so fucking lazy story-wise, where it's like, oh yeah, well, the final like thing is you need to off each other. It's like, okay, in a death game, in a proper death game, you should make it to where it's possible for everybody to survive, because that's the game, right? That's at least the game of, like, it should be possible for everyone to survive. Obviously, you know, there's so many death games where obviously that's not the case. I've always had that issue though, where it's just like, no, like, a fun way is that you should, like, if you truly want to make it like a gamble and everyone's like betting on who's going to make it out and yada yada yada, you should make it to where everybody tries to go out. Everyone tries to, like, make their way. It's fucking like the way that it should be, and it kind of annoyed me, the fact that I'm like, oh, you're fucking lazy. That, no, at least make it to the point where, like, because that's what I thought the countdown was gonna be, was that, like, maybe something had to happen or something that they missed, and I don't know. Look, it sounds weird, I get it, but that just pissed me off, like, to no degree. I was like, oh, fucking yeah, fuck you, you suck. But the big thing, and by the way, the reason I have so much to say is that, okay, for anyone who wants to watch this is 47 minutes. Like, I had the feeling, because first of all, when you first look at it, the production for this, animation-wise, like, design-wise, is actually really fucking high. Yes, it is basically an hour long. So, for anyone who wants to watch this, just know that and be prepared going into it, that this is going to be a chunky ass episode, because of course it is. But, like, obviously they get out, and Yuugi is just, she's back into her normal life, and she has a ritual where every 3 minutes, when she, like, at the beginning of the day, she thinks about all the people that, like, she's passed, that, like, have passed away playing these games. And I think for me, like, she doesn't realize why she'd do it, but like, it, the theory that I have personally is one of those things where okay, this is gonna be really weird, but stay with me. I swear to God, just stay with me. So if you've ever watched Trailer Park Boys, which is such a bad comparison, but there's a character called Mr. Leahy. I don't remember what the actor's name was, but the actor passed away, which is partly why the show went into a weird direction and, like, changed stuff like that. But Mr. Leahy, actor, he said something that always always kind of stuck with me. It made me kind of comfortable, and it's honestly kind of part of the reason I, like, really wanted to do more content creation in the first place, which was so weird to think about. It's crazy. You're gonna see a little bit of my philosophy here that I actually adopted from this. Was he said something of, like, oh my God, I forget the actual quote, but he said something akin to, like, you're not really dead when you die, you're only really dead when you're forgotten. And I think that's sort of kind of what Yuugi is doing here, is that if she takes like 3 minutes out of the day, right, to think about everybody who's perished or passed away. It's kind of one of those things in the sense of just like the memory of them is going to live on, because obviously everybody who's in a death game is probably somebody who's been either abandoned or forgotten by like their family or life or society, or they would be the type of people in a world where they're probably not really cared about as much, and if they went away, not many people would mourn them. So I always saw this, or at least I'm seeing this as Yuugi being that one person to carry on their memory, because like I said, you're not really dead when you pass away. You're not really gone when you pass away. You're only really gone if you're forgotten. So I think that's Yuugi's way, as someone who's constantly survived these games, to like keep living on that memory, which I really appreciate. I really like that aspect in the sense of like how that's built up and stuff like that. It's nice. It's like a genuinely nice thing to do, honestly. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it fucking wholeheartedly, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I do want to talk about her original goal, because her original goal is kind of insane, if I'm being honest with you, because her original goal for her is, she's like, yeah, I want to survive 99 of these games. I mean, she's a quarter of the way there, more than a quarter of the way there. My question is why? And I assume, obviously, we'll find out more and more as we go on. But my question is, just why? Like, why? Like, why? What's the point? What's the point of this? All that stuff. Like, it's such an interesting thing to leave you on, and it's just like, okay, you're obviously doing this for some reason, or maybe not. Maybe she just wants to see if she wants to do something. Maybe I could see this story doing something of just like, oh yeah, I am somebody who is kind of like just a below average person, not really meant for anything in this world instead of just existing. But if I can go through these death games, this can kind of show that like my life was meant for something. Or maybe it's the case, like my life was meant for something, and it's like either repaying somebody back who like saved her at the beginning or something like that. Or maybe there's something at the end of the road after 99 games. I'm not 100% sure. This show sets up a lot of mystery that I really like, and man, you know what? This would be such a banger in any other season. This would be like a fucking top 3 anime. But Frierin's coming out with season 2. Fire Force is coming out with its finale. Fucking what else is coming out? Then I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen's coming out. Oshinoko is coming out. Chain Soldier's coming out. Fuck it, there's a lot of bangers that are coming out. So it feels Medalist season 2 is coming out. People really like that show. So it like I get the little bit of the frustration of just like, this show should bang. It should. Right? Theoretically, this should be extremely popular, but unfortunately, most people probably aren't going to pick this up. But if you come across this video some way or somehow, please, like this is like really good. Also, this first episode sets up like a plethora of interesting stories, because now we have 2 survivors. Are they going to end up returning? We also have the basis of people get put into those games not by choice. Are those same girls going to be put into the games by choice and then brought back with Yuugi? She's played 28 of these games. Surely there are other survivors if she knows that other people can get out. Is there going to be an episode where all the girls that get put in are going to be people who know Yuugi? And is one of them going to be like an antagonist? Are there other people like Yuugi out there where like someone's played a bunch of games but those 2 know what happens when you hit like 99 wins? It's fucking insane. There's so much potential for this show to just explore interesting aspects. I am so excited for this. This show has got me on the fucking hook episode. This is how you do an episode 1. This Shibou Yuugi is probably one of the best episode 1s I have watched in like fucking forever. This actually might be a top 5 for me. I don't think it tops Promised Neverland. I don't think this definitely does not top fucking episode 1 for Oshinoko. But it's up there, man. This was wonderful. It laid out everything you need to know about the show, everything you need to know about Yuugi, everything you need to know about the world, but also enough to make you guess and still want more. Like, there's enough where I left satisfied and also gave you that like emotional, sorry, Jesus Christ, multiple roller coasters of like things. It's interesting. It's nice. I like it. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's actually so good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so good. Oh, I do implore you, if you are looking for something new to watch, this might be it. This right here, Shibou Yuugi, might be the anime you watch. And obviously, when it comes to like grading the episode, I gotta give it nothing but an S, man. Holy shit. This gets a S. This gets a full S. This shit was good. This shit was popping. This shit was great. It was intense. It was emotional. Its world building was great. The characters were great. Oh my god. And it's gonna be so fresh to just get like a rotation of characters and just see all the different interactions of like how people react, how people react to Yuugi. Maybe there'll be a group that like don't just trust her and then they go off on their own. And so like she's by herself being like, well, I told them, and you just see them in their hubris just die one by one by one by one, or even like, oh my god, oh, this is so good. It's so good. I'm so excited for this. I really am. This is probably like gonna be like my favorite. I can already tell this is gonna be my favorite of the season in terms of like new anime. Obviously, reoccurring anime. Baby Oceanoko's still there. You think I'm gonna leave my baby? I know, ball, but Shibou Yuugi, man, do not be surprised if on the main channel we talk about this. Do not be surprised that on the main channel we end up talking about this. But yeah, Jesus Christ, like I said, that was half an hour of talking about just one single episode. This is why I wanted to make the single episode, because there's actually so much that you could talk about when it comes to this episode. There's a lot, man. There's a lot when it comes to it, and like it's fucking good. So again, check this out if you can. It's really good. It's really great. Obviously, we will return every week with this, but this is definitely going to be a fucking pick for at least me, 100%. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a good day anywhere you are. Have a wonderful time. Bye.